Good evening everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello and welcome. My name is Mawahib. So today's video is actually pretty exciting for me. So at the start of my YouTube journey, if you guys realize, I do have a testing video on C6 wax, but at the time when I uploaded that video, it was only a 2-minute clip. It was at the very start of my journey, guys. Like, looking back at it, I could cringe. I swear I cringe at all my old videos. But you know, the more we grow, the better my videos, the better quality, the more confident I am getting with you guys, and in front of the camera, the better content I'm able to provide. I do apologize that that video was only a 2-minute clip, and it's basically not even a testing video. It's more of a showing you how I basically made a candle using a C6 wax. But in today's video, I am going to go through the characteristics of C6 wax. I'm also going to show you how I make my candles. Like my regular videos, I'll take it into my kitchen, voice over that part of the video, and then at the end I do come back, I share with you guys my experience working with the wax, if I was to repurchase it again, and just give you my opinion in general. I would love for you guys to click on that subscribe button down below, give this video a huge thumbs up, comment down below on what videos you'd like to see from me in the future, and please guys, don't forget to turn your post notifications on so you guys can get notified every time I post. With that being said, let's just get straight into this video. Okay, let's make a candle, shall we? So this is the C6 wax blend, and I got this in a sample tub from Candle Shack, and this is how it comes, and that's how it looks like inside. I don't have that much wax left over, so I thought I'd actually make 2 candles, but by the time I made the second candle, I actually stopped filming. So I am going to be making a fragrance oil candle and an essential oil candle, and this is how the C6 wax feels like. It's actually super creamy, as you guys can see. Like, it melts in my hands really quickly, and that's because of the coconut. It's just gorgeous. I love working with coconut waxes. And I'm gonna go ahead and start measuring my wax. So I am going to be using a 30 centiliter candle container. I am going to go ahead and measure 204 grams of C6 wax for my 30 centiliter candle container, and I am using an 8% fragrance load, and then we can talk about the fragrance in a little bit. So now that I've measured all my wax, let me get straight into wicking. So I am going to be using 2 wicks, and the 2 wicks that I'm using for today's video is 2 Eco 2s. As you can see, I am going to secure my double-sided sticker to the bottom of my wick, and then I'm going to go ahead and pop that straight into my container. So when you're placing 2 wicks in your 30 centiliter candle container, make sure that your wicks are not too close to the edge. And the reason why I say that is because when you light that wick up, the heat will be focused so much on the glass that there's a chance of it cracking, because obviously then the glass will be overheated. Ensure that you're not too close to the edges of the candle container, and then you should be fine. And also, if you realize, I'm actually not fully securing my wicks until I'm fully happy with the positioning. So I want to get it as central as I possibly can get it, and I want to make sure that I'm very happy with the distance between the 2 wicks, and I'll show you guys that up close so you guys can know what I mean. I know that there are different techniques to actually do 2 wicks in a candle container. I do see people drawing the diameter of the candle container on a piece of paper and then wicking it that way. So if you guys want me to show you that way of wicking it, then I'm more than happy to do that for you guys. Over here, I just thought I'd eyeball it and just try get it as accurate and as central as I can possibly get. Here is the final results. Can you guys see that I'm not too close to the edge, and there's good spacing between the 2 wicks? Once you see the final results, the placement of the wicks will make much more sense, so you guys can see it much clearer. So make sure that you stay until the end so you guys can see the finished product, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. Anyway, as you guys can see, I am going to be securing my wick and move on to melting my wax, because I took so long on wicking my candle container. The choice of fragrance oil in today's video is going to be from London Luxury Supplies, and it's called Rose Wonderland. I love the smell of rose, especially now in spring, summer. I love a good floral scent. I am going to be measuring 16 grams of fragrance oil, and that is 8% fragrance load. And if you guys use the same gram scale that I use, then I definitely recommend that you actually pick up some pipettes, because they actually help so much. As you guys can see, like, the gram scale is so sensitive, and sometimes I can go way over or way under, so I feel in control when I'm literally using this amazing tool for fragrance oils. And everything that I use in my videos is always in the description down below, so make sure that you check it out. So I'm gonna go ahead and check on my wax, so I make sure that it doesn't overheat. I'm just gonna give it a good mix and make sure that the heat is spread evenly. And you don't want to heat your C6 wax above 93 degrees, or else it will discolor. At this point, when I took my wax off of the heat, I was at 79 degrees Celsius. So by the time I wait for my wax to cool down, I'm going to go ahead and heat up my jar really quickly just so I can get good gloss adhesion. And I am going to be pouring my fragrance oil at 46 degrees. As you guys can see that the wax is pretty liquidy, so I could get away pouring my fragrance oil at 46 degrees. By the time I pour my fragrance oil in and give it a mix for 2 minutes, I would have been at 45 degrees Celsius by the time I poured it into my candle container. So I don't show myself mixing for 2 minutes, of course, because that clip is going to be way too boring. Now that I've done all my mixing, literally this is my favorite part of making candles, is when I start pouring my wax into the candle container. The reason why my wax looks slightly cloudy is because it's starting to cure. I can't wait to show you the results and talk about the wax in the next clip coming up right now. Alright lovelies, I am back. I hope you guys enjoyed me making the candles with you. So I am going to get straight into the characteristics of C6, but you guys know that I did 2 candles, 1 essential oils and 1 fragrance oil. I actually didn't have much wax left, so I thought why not make an essential oil candle as well. But the only one that I filmed is making the fragrance oil, as you guys saw. But we'll get into the results of that in a little bit. Let me just share with you guys the characteristics of this wax, and I'll also leave a link in the description down below if you guys want to read more about the C6 wax in your own time. It's currently out of stock and I did pick it up from Candle Shack. I'm not going to read everything that's on the website because I'll keep you here guys for a really long time. I'm just going to pick out the most important points that you guys need to know. Then if you guys want to read more of it, obviously the link would be in the description down below. So let's start reading, shall we? The C6 wax is one of the best vegetable candle wax blends we have ever tested for hot scent throw. This 100% natural wax is a blend of soy wax and coconut wax. And now I'm gonna talk about in terms of how high you should melt the wax. The C6 should be heated to a temperature of 71 degrees to 93 degrees to melt the wax. Do not heat the wax above 93 degrees Celsius because then your wax will discolor. And I always say in my videos, don't be afraid to help your wax melt and stir it every now and then just to spread the heat within the wax. Don't be afraid to keep stirring. Moving on, in terms of preparing the wax for pouring, after wax has been completely melted, reduce the heat on the wax so that the wax cools down to a temperature of 48 to 73 degrees Celsius. So over here I don't really quite understand why they said lower the heat instead of take it off the stove. I don't recommend keeping your wax on the stove even if it's at a low heat. Take your wax completely off of the stove and wait for it to cool down between 48 degrees to 73 degrees or to the point where you want to add your fragrance oils. And the last step that they mention here is pouring your candles, and they do recommend that you pour your candles between 48 degrees to 82 degrees to reduce cracking and speeding up the cure time of the wax. I poured my fragrance oil in my 30 centiliter candle container at 46 degrees and I mixed for 2 minutes. So I would say by the time I mixed for 2 minutes, I was about 45 to 44 degrees by the time I poured into my candle container. Does that make sense? Okay guys, so let me get straight into the results of the candles because literally that's the most exciting part of this video. I think anyway. I hope you guys find it exciting too. This is the fragrance oil candle that I made and I used two Eco 2s in my candle as well. I've been loving testing 30 centiliter candle containers with 2 wicks. Honestly, I'm loving the results, and let me just show you the results up close. This is the top of the candle. Can you see how smooth that is? I can't believe how smooth that is. And this is glass adhesion. It did pull away here a little bit, as you guys can see, and over here a little bit. So I just want to mention one thing about candle pillaways or wet spots. You can either call it pillaways or wet spots, whatever's easier for you guys or whatever you guys prefer. Is if you watch back my videos, or for anyone who's new that have seen my previous videos, I used to let the candle pillaways or the wet spots really bother me, but honestly it's not something that you can control and it does not affect the quality of your candle. It's actually the complete opposite. It's very normal to the candle to pull away from the jar because when the wax is heating it's expanded, and when the wax is cooling it shrinks, and so obviously it's going to pull away from the jar, and that's not something that you can control. You can manage it by heating up the jars. That's something that I do. I've actually been loving heating up my jars before pouring the candles. But if you still do experience wet spots even after you've heated up your jars, which I got right here, it's okay. Don't let it bother you. I used to let it get to me so much. I'm guilty of it, but right now I've come to the conclusion and the mindset to just accept it as it is. It's not something that you can control, and it's not something that you've done wrong, and it does not define the quality of your candle either. So I hope I make that clear for anyone who's starting out. So let me just rate the cold throw for you guys. So the cold throw is a 10 out of 10. I love the cold throw of it. It's Rose Wonderland, and you know when I smell the Rose Wonderland out of the bottle, it does not smell, it smells nothing like when you actually pour it into the wax. The rose, it's softer. Like once you smell it out of the bottle, it's quite overpowering, but the rose is pretty soft. It's not this overpowering rose smell. I really like it. And again, I have 2 EQ2s and I can't wait to test it. Honestly, I've been loving 2 EQ2s. By the way, I got a question in my previous video which one I prefer, 2 EQ2s or 2 EQ1s. I prefer the 2 EQ2s. I feel like I'm getting really good hot throw, burning perfectly. The EQ1s, I didn't get a strong hot throw. So when I tested the 2 EQ2s, I put the candle downstairs and I could smell it up until upstairs. But when I burned with the 2 EQ1s, I couldn't smell it upstairs much. It was very subtle and it was only when I'm around the candle. And I also do have an 8% fragrance load in my candle, and I did heat up my wax up until 79 degrees Celsius. So let me move on to the amber glass, and this is the essential oil candle, and I use Candle Shack essential oil blends at 8% fragrance load. And guys, I can smell the candle when it was from, like, literally from a distance. It smells amazing. So this is the candle top. I obviously didn't have a lot of C6 wax left, so that's why I have a gap here, but other than that, this is the gorgeous top. My wick is slightly off center, but that's all right. The wick I use is Stabilo 6. The fragrance load is 8% of essential oils. I heated up the wax to 66 degrees this time around, and I added the essential oil at 45 degrees. And by the time I poured my essential oils in my candle container, I was probably about 44-43 degrees, and it literally gave me a gorgeous top as the 30 centiliter candle container as well. I got 2 gorgeous tops. I really like it. Honestly guys, I think I prefer C6 wax over the A05. I don't know, I feel like I haven't worked with C6 wax in a really long time. Ever since I actually did that video, I haven't gone back and tested it out again, but now that I worked with it once again, I actually prefer it more than the A05 for some reason. If you guys have tested the C6 wax and the A05, let me know in the comment section what one you prefer, because I prefer the C6 for some reason. I don't know, I'm not too sure why, but I really like the C6 wax. I love the results of it, and I love how smooth the top is. I love how easy it is to work with as well. And for those of you who actually want to try out coconut wax, I would say start with C6. I would start actually test C6, don't test the A05. So do test it out. That's my opinion. I'll obviously leave that decision up to you. It's a wax I would actually pick up again and work with a little bit more in terms of wicking and fragrance oils and essential oils. By the way, I have burned the C6 wax with essential oils, and the hot throw is amazing. They do describe it pretty well in terms of hot throw on the Candle Shack website, so I have to agree with them. I haven't tested it out with fragrance oils yet. If you guys like, I'd keep you updated with that in either the comment section down below, or if you guys want me to test it out on camera with you guys, then I don't mind doing that. Just let me know what you guys prefer. Well, that is it for today's video. I would love for you guys to click on that subscribe button down below. Give this video a huge thumbs up. Comment down below on what videos you'd like to see from me in the future, and don't forget to turn your post notifications on so you guys can get notified every time I post. With that being said, have a lovely Wednesday evening, a great week, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye guys.